Hi everyone, it's the Escape Room Couple here, back again. No hints, no cheats, no clues, just an honest review.
Except for that one.
Apart from that one. Where are we today?
Clue HQ.
Clue
Leicester.
HQ Leicester. We did Elevator a few weeks back. We really enjoyed that. We didn't escape from it, but we really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. I think this is room number 51. You don't think it is?
I don't. I think we've done much more than that.
Okay, I think it's number 51, but either way. What are we doing today?
We are doing. This is the last minute thing for us, so we're doing one called AI9. This feels a little bit for me like an iRobot kind of service.
We've got to stop the machines from taking over
We have to
the
stop the
world.
machines. We have to stop the machines. The machines think they know best, and they're trying to save humanity. But by doing so, they're going to wipe a lot of us out.
Yes.
That's a bit ominous.
It does. We'll see you on the other side.
So we got out with about 5 minutes to spare because the timer kind of disappeared towards the end. This is going to be a loaded question. What did you think?
We've now done around 50 plus escape rooms, probably more
still
than
think
that.
it's more than that, but
That was single-handedly the worst escape room I think I've ever been in. For
Ouch.
many reasons.
okay. So I think you've got a lot to get off your chest.
I mean, look.
What was wrong with it?
The thing
What
is,
was right with it's probably a better
well,
question.
maybe, yeah. The thing is, right, is that sometimes people do escape rooms because they love escape rooms and they love puzzles and they want to put a big smile on everyone's face. Some people just do it to make money. This one has purely been done, I think, to make money. Very little, if any, care and attention into pretty much anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, service to Nottingham calls
I
at
won't interrupt this guy.
and Nottingham are final station call due to 21:55.
Can you get into
I'm
What he
running
said.
3 or 4 minutes behind the scheduled time at present. Next station call, Loughborough.
What he said. Carry on.
Yeah, immense disappointment. After doing Elevator in Clue HQ in Birmingham, I was like ready for this to be a really, really good room, be a really good challenge, and yeah, immense disappointment on every level, I'm afraid. Even though we escaped,
We did escape, and
but it's about the whole experience, isn't it?
It is, and I still think that a lot of the reason why we only had the time we had left was because of the problems we had throughout the room. There were 2 or 3 occasions where the timer had to be stopped and the host had to come in because items hadn't been reset, items had broken, items just weren't functioning in the right way, and I think there was a couple of times when we were asking for help and the first time we were completely ignored, and the second time she gave us the wrong clue, and to which you very very simply turned around and said, "Are you even listening? I've done that, so what's this for?"
Can I just say to anyone who might be listening from Clue HQ, and you organise Leicester, you need to shut this game down immediately and fix it properly and give people a better experience. People have spent good money for this. We've travelled from a little way out on the train, spent 50 quid on an escape room, to come and have a good experience, and this is I'm afraid exceptionally poor.
Okay, so continue with the soapbox. What do we want to go first? Do you know what? We're going to add an extra point
Yes.
here as well. We were given by somebody that runs escape rooms themselves, and some very, very good ones. His name's Nigel, and he runs Let's Escape in Newark, which
Very
is
good
brilliant,
escape
by the way.
rooms.
They're
Very, very
fantastic.
good. Yeah.
And he's given us a pointer to add in immersion.
Yes.
So we're going to do that because it's sound advice.
Yeah.
So let's go gameplay.
Gameplay.
I am laughing for a reason.
a generous 1, I would say, for gameplay.
I'll probably go a 2. I'll go slightly higher than you.
The problem was as well is that I think that there's obviously been mistakes throughout the whole thing as well, and there's a bit where actually I don't know if you remember the bit, but there's a bit, and it's no secret, there's only switches in the room and you have to do them in a certain combination, but it had broken, and so therefore they could see the fact that it had broken and some of the labels had been peeled off, and so when they saw that we'd completed it, they gave us the code, which is not the right way of working it out. They'd obviously broken it and couldn't be bothered to fix it. So for me, I'm sorry, but I'm sticking in at 1. I thought it was that bad, I'm afraid.
Okay, I'm happy to side with you. I mean, I don't feel as frustrated as you, but I'm happy to side with you. In addition, there was a point. There's a pattern to the game, isn't there?
Yes.
So without giving
Yeah.
anything away, there is a pattern to the game, and suddenly that pattern stops without
Yeah.
warning. So
And again, I think it's because the stuff was broken previously and it hasn't been fixed properly.
possibly, so that you know where to find the answers for certain things because they're related
Yeah.
in some way, and then suddenly it's no,
Yeah.
now it's something else. Oh, all
1
right.
out of 5. Sorry. Yeah.
Ouchie. Okay, 1 out of 5. So let's go host.
Another immense disappointment, I'm afraid.
She was a lovely girl. She really was nice. The
Yeah, she
introduction
was.
was good.
Yeah.
And I actually had high hopes when we started.
I did.
Because the way she introduced us.
I did. Yeah.
And the way she set us up into the
But
room.
if your host disappears through the game and you can't speak to them for a good 5 minutes before they pay attention, I'm sorry, but you've got to be marked down. If you're the host as well, it's your responsibility to reset the room properly and to make sure it works. And if it doesn't, then you say, look, I need 10 minutes to go and reset the room properly before you go in. And I think the other thing as well is what disappointed me is that after the game had finished, and she knew her disappointment because she'd already had to come in the room and fix a few things. She knew our disappointment, but she scarpered and ran, as opposed to actually sitting down with the customer and saying, right, what can we do to fix it? And I thought that was a real shame.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, we've done escape rooms before and we haven't enjoyed them. And the host has just been like, right, well, let me see what we can do. Tell us what we can do in the future to fix it. But
Just some honest feedback. And
just some
taking
honest
it on board.
feedback, yeah. And the thing is that we could have been a massive.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we shall arrive at Loughborough. Please use this opportunity to make sure
stopping at
you have
Loughborough.
all luggage, personal belongings
Because the
with
trainers, we're
you.
just not getting out.
Loughborough's on next station.
So yeah, and I think the thing is that actually, if she'd have said, right, what did you find wrong? I could have taken it into the room and gone, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And then if they'd have taken it on board and fixed it for the next person, then great. But it's the fact that she just ran, and I thought that was an immense disappointment.
There was a bit of rabbit in headlights for them, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
very much so, and it might just be down to experience. But again, someone from Clue HQ, I'm sorry, it's not the lady's fault who was dealing with the game, but somebody should have trained her on what to do in this kind of circumstance. And I'm sorry, they have not been. They haven't. It wasn't a good experience from a host point of view, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go for 1 again.
Okay. Venue.
Well, you haven't scored host then. What?
Oh, sorry, no, I
disagree with
didn't.
me then.
To be honest, I am going to disagree a little bit with you, and this is why. I've already said that she was lovely when she introduced us into the room.
What were you expecting it to be horrible then?
But she was exceptionally pleasant. Some people are just like, yeah, here's your room.
Yeah, true.
But she introduced us very well, and I thought she came across very, very pleasantly, and she showed us in, and she gave us a bit of an explanation of what to expect. I thought she was lovely. There were a few things that went wrong, and she did apologise. I would say that it's more on Clue HQ and less on the host,
Fair.
because
Okay. All right.
she's obviously
Yeah.
not been trained in how to deal with that, and
Fair.
she's also quite young as well, wasn't she? In fact, all of the hosts were. I would say that they were late teens to very early 20s. And when it comes to dealing with people that are not happy, unless you've had an exceptionally good trainer, you're not really going to know how to deal with that. That's something that comes with age, or somebody that's taught you very, very well.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's less her fault and more something to do with Clue HQ. But you never know, they might get in touch with us off the back of this video and say, okay.
Maybe.
But they are quite young people.
So go on then.
I would give her a 3.
You give her a 3. Should we meet in the middle?
No.
Yeah. 2 out of 5 for host
Okay.
then. Okay, fine.
Okay, so venue.
Well, again, I mean, if the problem is with the venue, then that's what we've got to score it. So that's where the bad score's got to go.
Yeah.
And I thought the room, I thought the way the room was designed, I thought the way the
First walked in, it was actually quite incredible.
It
They
was,
had
yeah,
we
yeah.
tried to shoot it with the lighting and the way that it was when we went in. They had UV lights and strip lights everywhere, which
Yeah,
we
it's
thought would
quite
look
cool.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Not too far from the centre of Leicester, just a few minutes drive
Yeah.
from the train station.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Loughborough.
We're in
Make sure you
Loughborough.
have everything with you if you are leaving the train here.
Make sure you got everything with you.
Yes, please mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
So I would probably go about between a 2 and a 3, because there's some good points to it.
I think 2 is generous, to be
So-
honest.
so we'll
but
stick at
all right,
2.
2 for venue.
Okay, so we've had venue, we've had host, we've had gameplay, and we've got to do immersion. But what was the other one that we normally do?
Room layout, don't we?
Room layout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go immersion.
I mean, there was just nothing with it, was there? Do you know what I mean? There was
It was
nothing.
a bit dry.
It was,
It was a bit dry.
The
and-
thing is on the advert, it looks very kind of iRobot-ish and all that sort of thing, you know, and you think this is going to be really immersive, you know, I'm going to feel like I'm in the film of iRobot and stuff, but it just wasn't. I mean, you know,
It was effectively a box, wasn't it?
it was
With some
effectively a
stuff in
box with with some padlocks in. It wasn't much. It wasn't so much an escape room. It was more a room,
it. A broken room.
a broken room.
Okay, so score for immersion.
I can't score it on immersion. It has to be a big fat 0, I'm afraid.
Wow. It is difficult
can
to be
you
immersed.
disagree?
Not too much, no. It's difficult to be immersed when you are having to shout to your host, not for clues. I mean, we didn't have any clues, did we?
No.
But it's difficult
We
to be
weren't asking
immersed
for clues. Where we were asking
for help
equipment
because
to
something
be-
had broken.
Yeah. I mean, look, we weren't a massive fan of Curio in Nottingham, were we? We weren't.
No, I found it
But-
much too strange.
But it was the way the room was laid out and everything else, it was really clever, wasn't it? It was really
Yeah.
well designed, but this just wasn't as well designed at all. And after doing Elevator at Clue like we said in Birmingham, it was just an immense disappointment. That's what I was expecting it to be, and it wasn't. So I'm sorry, it has to be a 0
Wow.
for
Okay.
immersion.
I will probably give it a 1.
Right.
Okay.
One's fine.
1. Okay, we'll give it a 1. Oh, this one's going to be painful. Room layout.
I mean, can you score it on room layout? I mean,
I like the idea behind it. It's quite clever, but
the storyline is cool.
Yeah.
It is, but such a bad execution in terms of how it was laid out. I mean, yeah.
it's just not
If
much
you've
in
got
it.
if you've got a room layout where the puzzles aren't
Working.
working properly and equipment isn't working properly, it wasn't even reset properly. There were bits that hadn't actually been put back to the way they should be, wasn't there as well? And also, like I say, some of it hadn't been hadn't been put together back properly. So yeah, I'm sorry, I have to go with 0 on room layout as well.
I would stick at about a 1 for room layout because I feel like somebody's just gone down to B&Q, grabbed a bucket of painters and padlocks.
So why can you score it any? But I could do that. In
Because
fact,
there was a game to play,
yeah, okay.
just
All right.
so I can score
A
it.
generous 1. Clue HQ, you have been an immense disappointment, I'm afraid. And it's a real shame because we were looking forward to coming and back and doing a load more in Leicester because it's not far from us, is it? But we will not be coming back to Clue HQ Leicester in a hurry, will we?
Not unless the thing changes in a big way.
Yeah. There we go. We are doing Caves in Nottingham next week, which is what we were supposed to be doing tonight. We'll be doing that next week instead. Looking forward to that. Until then, see you later.
We enjoy first class.